We finally have Rey tentative name, so let's talk a little bit about my first impressions on this character, if it's worth pulling for her or not, how much she is buffing Asuka, which by the way, it's a lot, and overall, if you should be pulling for these two characters or pulling for the old ones on Evangelion. As usual, before we start, hello the internets, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today we have a little video talking about Rey and overall how much she's buffing Asuka, which by the way, it's a lot, and the accounts that I've been testing on. I've been testing on my account, which as you can see has an SBS with 17 attack, 55 elemental, 55 ammo, and then a lot of charge damage and charge speed. My Asuka has only 21 elemental, 12 attack, not that much difference, and then 63 max ammo capacity. The problem is that even with both of them SR dolls phase 15, my SBS has like 230k combat power, while my Asuka has like 160, I think, 160. So it's a big ass difference. It's like a 70k difference in combat power. So I was also testing in Molky's account. Thank you, Molky, I love you. Molky's characters on neutral element I was testing. They both have the same attack basically. 26 on SBS, 24 on Asuka, 130 max ammo versus 44, charge damage 26, and no charge speed. So pretty even out, even in combat power. The gap is like 30k combat power rather than my account like 70 or 80. So that's nice. Now, before we keep going, when it comes to Rey herself, okay, when it comes to her investment and a little bit of the first impressions, we'll see if it changes or not. We want to go with 747. I am poor, I cannot get this, okay, but the 747 is enough. The only reason to go higher on a skill 2 is because you want more attack, but considering how expensive things are, I will say a 4. Nothing else. Keep it there, stay there. And when it comes to her stats, she's a basic bitch DPS character, more of a buffer than a DPS herself, so you want to go on a mental attack, and of course you want to go with max ammunition capacity. And then lastly, cubes, whatever is higher level, Bastion or Resilience. Most people are leaning towards Bastion nowadays rather than Resilience, which is fair considering, you know, we're getting so many buffers with a reload speed that it makes sense that you don't need to be going Resilience nowadays as much, and you can go Bastion. Now, like I was saying earlier, my SBS is way too invested. A lot of charge damage, charge speed, a lot of elemental. This piece here, guys, never lock line 1 and line 2, okay? This piece ruined me. 100 plus rocks. Now, enough yapping about that, let's talk a little bit about the difference in damage and what's going on with Asuka. It's been so far like a 20-30% increase on my account on what I've seen. Again, what I've seen. If you heavily invest into your Rey, most likely you'll get better numbers, but that's what I've been seeing myself. Now, when it comes to my account, no matter what I do, my Asuka is never catching up. Like I was saying earlier, the difference in combat power is too big. And as you can see, on a normal team with Grave Rappi, 2.8 billion versus 1.5 billion. On a team with Litter Crown, she's doing 2 billion versus 1.1 billion. This is neutral element, this is elemental advantage, which makes sense, that big difference. My Scarlet has way more elemental. And then when it comes to elemental advantage with Naga, on Union Raid, it's 2.5 versus 1.2. We ran way more tests on the stream if you want to check our VOD, but for the most part, my Asuka never came close. Still, pretty good numbers for a character that has only, right now, 21 elemental. She is surpassing every other wind character I have on my account outside of SBS. That's already fantastic, by the way. We do not have good damage dealers for wind until now. You have your team 1 with SBS, and now you have your team 2 with both Rey and Asuka. That is great. And then for your third teams, you could go with something like your Sakura, plus your filler teams with whatever leftovers you have. Now, when it comes to Molky's account, we can appreciate the buffs a lot more. As you can see, Molky's account is only like a 30k difference in combat power. And Asuka was doing 700 million, while Scarlet was doing 1 billion. And Alice is doing the same damage as Rey, which again, this is a neutral element. Still, important to mention this, Molky's Alice is not fully invested, and this was auto. It's important to mention because Alice on manual is always going to be doing a lot more damage. I'm not saying more than Rey, I'm just saying overall there's going to be a difference between manual and auto. So 700 versus 1 bill, 300 million difference with Crown Litter. And then running Rappi Grave, we were getting basically the same, literally 300 million difference with both characters. So as you can see, this gets a lot closer, and this is still not a fair comparison, because you could keep investing into your Asuka and into your Rey. Now, would I recommend pulling for these two characters considering how strong they are? If you care at all, like anything about raids, yes, you need to pull for them. There is no excuse. If you don't care about raids, You can skip this. And again, I know a lot of people will disagree with this, but if you don't care about the raids, there is plenty of strong characters already. If you don't care, that's like a big if, okay? Because you are either playing Nikke for the story and the characters, or just because you enjoy the endgame, which is like a really small minority. So if you're collecting your characters, you're gonna pull, these are limited characters. This is not coming back, this is not a rerun, this is a part 2. So if you care about the collaboration characters in your Pokédex, you should be pulling a copy at least of each. When it comes to priority for all of this, I'm gonna be honest, I think Mary is still the priority for all of these banners because how good she is as B2. And then it would be the new Asuka and then the previous Asuka even before Rei. Because as a fire buffer, she's fantastic, and even as a DPS herself. The buffers, so both the old Rei and the new Rei, are the last priority, both of them. Still, I'll make a video tomorrow going more in depth over all of this, but it's gonna be for this one, just a small one, going over the first impressions on how much damage these new girls are doing, which is fantastic damage, by the way. If you have resources, invest in them. If you recently invested into the new mates, you are probably broke as fuck, so good luck investing in these two. And that's gonna be for this one, as usual. Live every day. If you wanna come by, say hello, links in the description. Good luck with your pool generates. I'll see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことです。